Today we're going to be looking at the GED calculator and looking how to do powers and roots. Powers and roots are dealing with exponents like squaring something or cubing it or doing square roots. So I'd turn my calculator on. And then let's say I wanted to do something like 3 squared. I would hit 3, and then this button right here, this X with the 2, is going to square anything for me. So I'm going to hit that, and then it puts the squared right there. If that's all I wanted to do, then I will hit enter, and 3 squared equals 9. But this time, let's say maybe I wanted to do something like 2 cubed. Well, I'll hit 2. Well, that doesn't help me because I'm not trying to square something. I want to cube it. I'm going to go right above that button to this arrow. They call it a caret button because maybe it looks like a carrot. I don't know, but I like to think of it as an arrow. And what this does is it's going to take my blinking square and it's going to put it into the superscript. And now anything that I enter is going to be up here in this power area to tell my calculator what I want to do. So I had said 2 cubed, so I'm going to put 3, but I could also have put 4 or 5 if I wanted 2 to the 4th or 2 to the 5th, whatever I wanted. I'm inputting the information. If you notice, I'm still blinking up there because I could still add in more information up there in that superscript, but I just wanted 2 cubed, so I can hit over to get out of that, and then I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to tell me that 2 cubed equals 8. And that is how you do powers. Squared is this button. Anything above squared, you're just going to hit this arrow to get your blinking up into the power area to input it. Now for square roots, I am going to use the green above the squared button. It's very important you put this in first. So if I want to square root something, I'm going to hit second, and I'm going to hit this button, and it gives me a square root symbol. And now let's say I wanted to know what the square root of 25 was. I will go over here and I will do 25, and then I can hit enter, and it tells me the square root of 25 is 5. Let's say I wanted to find the cubed root of something. Again, I'm going to use this button above the squared. This is for squareds and square roots. This button is for anything above that. So, but it is green again, but this time it is a little bit tricky because if I want the cube root, I have to hit 3 first, then second, and hit this button, and it's going to take that 3 and put it here so let me know I'm doing a cube root. If I don't do the 3 first, I'll show you what happens in a second. So let's say I wanted to do the cubed root of 8, and I'll put the 8, I'll hit enter, and it tells me it's 2. But let's say I'm going to clear this because let me see, is that going to do what I want it to do? Let's say I didn't do the 3. It takes the answer. If you see this ANS says the previous answer, and it put that here. I don't want that there. I can go back and delete it, but what that's going to do is it deleted the whole thing. So to make sure you do the cube, you have to hit the 3 first, or maybe this time I'll do the 4. And then I'll hit this second button to get this green. And now it's saying what's the 4th root of 64? And it's going to give me a decimal because there is not a even 4th root of 64. The last thing I want to show you is, let's say I want to take the cube root of, or the square root of 10. When I do that and I hit enter, it's going to just give me that. It didn't give me a nice decimal this time. Sometimes in algebra you do want that if you're factoring something out, but let's say you do want to know what the square root of 10 is. I'm going to go and I'm going to use this arrow button over here, and I'm going to tell the calculator, take my answer and turn it into a decimal for me. And when it does that, it will tell me what the square root of 10 is in decimal form. So that's good to know on the test. You might need to just know it this way if you're factoring, but you might also need to turn it into a decimal if you're using like the Pythagorean theorem or something, and that is how you do it. You use the double arrows above the enter button to turn it into a decimal for you.